Are we good to go? Okay.
Okay. Are there any participants tonight on live stream? Or, yeah, okay. Okay. Is this one of the applicants or agents?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, yeah. Okay. Good evening. I'll call to order the West Perth Committee of Adjustment here at 6:02 to consider the application for minor variance of lands owned by Dave and Pamela Morgan, known as Plan 439, Lot 52, Lot 53, Fullerton Ward, Municipality of West Perth. Are there anyone on the member of the committee that have a pecuniary interest? Now or later on, disclosing it is fine too. Could I please have a couple people, a couple members of the committee to move the recommendation that we accept the agenda as presented? Alex and Dean, all those in favor? That is carried. Thank you. A couple people to adopt the minutes of our previous meeting on January 16th, Diane and Phil. All those in favor? That is carried. Thanks. Any decision reached by the committee tonight can't be used as a precedent at a future meeting. Just a reminder. I'd now like to call on the Secretary Treasurer of the committee to advise us of the purpose of the meeting. Dan?
Thank you, Chair. The purpose of this public meeting of the West Perth Committee of Adjustment is to allow for the presentation of an application for a minor variance and to allow interested members of the public the opportunity to ask questions or offer comments with regard to this application. Any member of the public that would like to be notified in writing of the Committee of Adjustment's decision on the application is to provide their name and mailing address to clerk@westperth.com this evening. This will also entitle you to be advised of a possible Ontario Land Tribunal hearing in the event of the decision on this application is appealed. Notice was sent by regular mail on January 27th, 2023 to property owners within 60 meters of the subject property and to those agencies requiring notice.
Thank you, Dan. I'll now call on Perth County Planner John Weiss to present the report for us. John, the floor is yours.
There we go. Thank you, council members and members of the public. All right, we'll get started then. Thanks, Hannah. So this property is located south of Mitchell. It's technically just outside the settlement area. It is located at 6098 Fisher Road. Perfect. Thanks, Hannah. The applicants are Dave and Pamela Morgan, and this is the first minor variance of the year. So the subject property is designated urban fringe in the Perth County official plan, and it's, like I said before, located just outside the settlement area. It's zoned Hamlet Village Residential, HVR, in the West Perth zoning bylaw. And the zoning bylaw states that an accessory structure shall be 4.5 meters in height. And Dave and Pamela Morgan have applied for a minor variance to increase that to 6.2 meters. All right, so section 45 of the Planning Act outlines the 4 tests required for a minor variance. And those tests being that does it conform with the official plan? Does it conform with the zoning bylaw? Is it considered minor? And then is it appropriate planning for the subject property? So the first test we'll do here is, does it conform with the official plan? In section 851 of the Perth County official plan requires specific items for residential development. So these requirements are met based on the proposed height increase. The lot size and lot coverage meet the requirements in the West Perth zoning bylaw. The design of the proposed enlargement is consistent with and in harmony with the general form and surrounding land uses, as there are other detached garages located within the same neighborhood that are generally larger than those observed within the settlement area. So additionally, there was a zoning bylaw amendment back in 2002 for a neighboring property to the north for an increased height as well, based on the 4.5 meter minimum. The accessory garage is proposed to have a loft. This loft area will have a window. This window faces to the south. This picture here was taken facing north, so the window would look directly at Fisher Road there. So the increase in height will provide the ability for the individuals to have an increased view of the neighboring properties out of the window. One thing that it is prudent to consider is privacy when requesting additional height, such as a minor variance or a zoning bylaw amendment. And these potential impacts on privacy are prudent, and it is necessary to think about those. So in general, the potential impact on privacy is considered not concerning. So the second item then would be, does it conform to the zoning bylaw? The West Perth zoning bylaw, like I had previously said, 4.5 meter minimum, and to go to 6.2 meters would increase the height by 1.7 meters. The minor variance application maintains the general intent of the zoning bylaw. The third option when considering a minor variance is it minor? And the determination on this request is not simply a numerical consideration, but it rather reflects the impacts on the proposed change. And planning staff consider the 1.7 meter change minor. No significant adverse impacts are anticipated to either the subject lands or the neighboring adjacent lands. This image here is of the neighbor's shed. It will be, the proposed shed will be about just in line with the neighbor's shed. So in order to accommodate a 12-foot overhead door for the proposed accessory structure, the relief would be needed. So the building height is determined based on finished grade level of the building to the mean height and the eaves and the ridge. And I've included on your package the definition of building height in there as well. So if the applicants were to install a 12-foot overhead door while at the same time meeting the 4.5 meter minimum, or sorry, maximum requirement, it would result in the applicants unable to construct their shed. So the fourth test is it appropriate for the site? There's large trees at the rear of the property that buffer the northern facing lots. There's a fence along the eastern side of the property there as well. And the surrounding neighborhood has many different types and styles of large accessory detached garages. There are many that are similar in style to the one proposed. So the planning department is of the opinion that the increased height of the proposed detached accessory garage is appropriate development for the site. And the planning department recommends that the application be conditionally approved. I can take any questions as well. Just more images here, and we can conclude with this one.
Thank you very much, John. Are there any questions from members of the committee? I'll also take a moment to ask if there are any questions or comments from members of the public. And would the applicant like to add any more comments or questions? Great, thank you. Thanks, John. We appreciate it. That brings us to the close. Thank you, everyone, for your attendance. We'll move on to the decision portion of the meeting. Would there be someone on the committee to move and second the recommendation that the Municipality of West Perth Committee of Adjustment receives the report dated February 6th, 2023, entitled Application for Minor Variance A01-2023, affecting lots described as Plan 439, Lot 52, Lot 53, Fullerton Ward, Municipality of West Perth, and that the Committee of Adjustment approve minor variance application A01-2023 submitted by Dave and Pamela Morgan to permit the construction of accessory garage with the variance in a maximum building height of 6.2 meters. That the following conditions are applied, that the minor variance only applies to the proposed accessory structure consistent with the application drawings, and that the owners obtain the necessary building permit within 2 years of the approval of the minor variance. Alex will move that recommendation. Phil will second that. Any other comments or questions or concerns? All those in favor? That is carried. Thank you. So I'll just explain the committee's reasons then, that the minor variance is hereby granted for the following reasons. Relief requested is minor in nature. It is required for appropriate development of the property. It maintains the general intent and purpose of our official plan, and it maintains the intent and purpose of our zoning bylaw. So could I have a couple of members of the committee to adjourn the West Perth Committee of Adjustment public meeting held in pursuant to Section 45 of the Planning Act at 6:13? Alex and Diane, all those in favor? We're adjourned.